Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another time-lapse video because I love these. It's so fun to just look back and see um, the process in fast time. Anyways, so I've been spending a lot of time thinking really hard about this concept for Demon Slayer featuring Tanjiro and Nezuko, you know, our star players from Kimetsu no Yaiba. I think I just said that. But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm working on, and it came out pretty well. Clearly, we're only watching my sketch phase right now. I did use a few Google references, you know, screen caps from the original show to like get the clothes right, get the hair right, you know. But I always love watching the sketches become more fleshed out. And I actually really like how I did Nezuko's hands. Very demonic looking. But yeah, so let's enjoy the show, I guess. If you notice, I have a graphic up in the corner over there. It's just hiding my face. I'm really just squinting at the camera as I'm drawing. But anyway, so I am working on the line art now, which is one of my favorite parts. I mean, I love all parts of drawing, so I think they're all pretty much my favorite part. Anyway, since Kimetsu no Yaiba has kind of an interesting style, I tried to incorporate that into this drawing. So instead of just trying to rely on like tone shadows, I actually used pure black for a lot of the area in this piece. I just thought it would add a lot of depth and it would like match kind of this go well with the style of the show because what's his name, Tanjiro's hair is like that. Like his hair is honestly mostly black, but it looks like he has really big red highlights in it, red violet highlights in it. So that's kind of the look I was going for, the look and feel I was going for in, by applying so much black to it. I also personally struggle with getting shadows dark enough on their own anyway. So I thought this would be a nice like change of pace compared to how I usually try to do my work. Let me think. So I drew Tanjiro's hair as it is currently, where it's kind of short. Although I loved his ponytail from the first few episodes, so I really hope they bring that back. It was insanely, like, I loved it. It was cute. It was the perfect length. But he does look quite a bit more fierce with his hair short like this. And plus that way it differentiates him from the guy with the long black ponytail that saved him from Nezuko in episode 1. Spoiler alert. So additionally with this image, although I did look up references to make sure I got the characters right and some of the details right, I did not use a pose reference. Excuse me. So the way he's holding his sword is a little bit funny, but I don't know, in some ways I feel like you can sacrifice a little bit of realism for compositional effect. I don't know, you can disagree with me if you want. I mean, art is a subjective. But so I didn't bother looking up a pose or even using my pose app, although I thought about it. But I was really like vibing on this piece, so I kind of just tried to go with my gut feeling for a lot of it. Besides obviously trying to make sure the characters looked right. But yeah, so I really liked the patterns of all the clothing in the show, and that's another reason why I was like, let's just go for pure black for a lot of this, because I really wanted those patterns to kind of stand out, but especially his cloak. Like, that's his signature look, is that cloak. You could probably wear anything else under it, but people would be, as long as you had the cloak and his hair, people would be like, hey, sup, Tanjiro. But, yeah, we're getting into the flat colors now. I didn't sample anything, I just kind of tried to eyeball it, which is how I usually do things. Yeah. So for coloring them, I separated them into 2 separate groups, so I didn't have a bajillion layers to look through at once. I could like open it up and close them as I needed them. I don't know if that's actually available on the mobile version of MetaBang Paint, but like if you're using any desktop app, they usually have the option of like grouping layers together. Okay, so this part to me is the most interesting. I'm just creating the splash water type attack stuff based on what's shown in the TV show. I did look up a couple of references for this as well, just to make sure I got the feeling right, even if I didn't quite get the look exactly the same. So I used thicker lines because what makes the attack thing so interesting is that it's 2D. It looks far more flat compared to how the characters look. I know it's all 2D, but they when making the attack moves, they kind of drew them as if they were like ukiyo-e woodblock prints. So that's what I really liked about the attack moves, and why I really needed to get this idea out. Originally, I didn't have the idea of using his attack move as like a design element, but after drawing the two, together compositionally, I was like, we need something else here to help lead the eye around the canvas. Yes, so over here I'm just adding some of the blue on overlay to all of their clothing to kind of bring everything together so that it looks like they're actually being involved with this attack and not just like standing in front of it. I think I did okay, but since I relied so heavily on like all this black in the line art, the coloring didn't have to be like super in depth. I really just used an airbrush and then the pen tool on with the opacity on. So pretty simple. I used a gray blue for the shading on the white stuff because they're in front of a blue thing. So pretty standard stuff here. I added a little bit of texture to the box, but not a lot because, the focus is really the characters here. So I didn't bother too much with that. So in this recording, I actually forgot to add Tanjiro's mark. So we won't actually cover that in this video, but just so you know, I added it. And you'll see that at the end when I reveal the final picture. Yep, now we're just shading Nezuko's clothes. I think technically all their clothes are pretty much black. And I'm just adding the pattern, or what I think is the pattern on her dress. I didn't look super close at it. Yeah, and then I'm just adding some more blue to her to make her look a little bit more shiny. And now we're just going into smaller detailed stuff. Just shading, refining, shading her skin. Skin is actually my favorite part to work on because it's what really makes the character come alive, in my opinion. And then I added like 2 watermarks-ish. They're actually hard to see because I don't like it to clutter up like the illustration. So, but yeah, there's one by Tanjiro's head and one in her hair right there. Anyways, so this is pretty much it as far as the recording goes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the illustration and let me know if you've seen the show because I freaking love it. Tell me your guesses on what the last arc might be because I think we have got 6 episodes left for the season.